This is AM 790 KXXX, and on the phone with me today, I have Senator Jerry Moran. Are you there, Senator Moran?
I am here. It's so good to be with you, Erin, and I am close to Colby, just not quite early enough to make it to the station, but I'm delighted to be with you and the listeners of KXXX, a great station.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time in your extremely busy schedule. From what I understand, you come from Washington every weekend to visit Kansas. Is this correct?
That is true. We never moved to Washington, D.C., so I come home to Kansas. You can say I work or visit Washington, D.C., but our family, we raised our kids in Hayes, and they went to school in Hayes, kindergarten through high school. Off to college, they went to K-State, and we decided when I was elected to Congress, when Kansas gave me the opportunity to represent them, that we wanted to raise our kids here. And so really for the entire time I've been a member of both the House and the Senate, it's been a airplane flight, normally on a Monday morning, and then back on a Thursday or Friday, back to Washington, D.C. And if you made me live in Washington, D.C. 7 days a week, I wouldn't want this job at all. I need a dose of like normal people who don't spend all their time talking, thinking, and plotting about politics. And the part of my job I like the best is when I'm with Kansans. And I'm a Northwest Kansan, and so particularly when I'm in this part of the state, it really does feel like I'm home, and it's a great feeling.
Okay, well, welcome home. From what I understand, you were born and raised in Plainville. Is that correct?
My hometown is Plainville, which most of us, when we come from small towns, we say, I come from Plainville. It's a little town north of Hayes. I was born in Great Bend, but started kindergarten, graduated from high school in Plainville, and that's where my parents were still living until just a few years ago.
Wow, okay, that's excellent. Okay, well, welcome home. So you are headed to Colby for the Colby Community College groundbreaking for the new Ag building. Is that correct?
I am. I'm very excited that President Carter, invited me. We've had a really good relationship with Colby Community College, which I think is doing wonderful work. We pay a lot of attention to community colleges and technical colleges. Certainly our university system is important, but we want to make certain that we don't underemphasize the opportunities that people have to receive an education, not just out of high school, but throughout their lives at a community college. And Colby Community College is one that is really working to meet the needs of the people in the area, the businesses and their employees. And a lot of what I'm about, we have no choice but to deal with all the big national and international issues that face our country and the world. But a lot of what I'm about is trying to make sure that rural Kansas has a future, that the places we do call home are around for a while longer, and opportunities for our kids and others to raise their families in the places that we were raised.
Okay. And so what do programs like what CCC is going to offer in this, in their new setup, what innovations, and you may not, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the programs, but so I may be throwing something at you off the cuff, but what innovations are going to be included in this program that is going to make it so unique, and why is it so important to northwestern Kansas?
Well, it's pleasing to me that Colby Community College, the leadership sees the need for additional ag education and training. We know within farming and ranching that the farmer and rancher is aging, and it's important that we find another generation, perhaps family members, but otherwise young farmers who want to come back and people who want to learn about a farmer and how to be one. So the enrollment at Colby Community College in agriculture has been increasing, and they have not had the areas, the square feet, in order to meet the need. And so this is a new building. It will be adjacent and connected to the Stanley Carr Agriculture Center, and it will help with that increasing enrollment as they work to meet the needs, the workforce needs of another generation of people interested in farming and ranching and in agricultural business.
Okay.
They'll have an agronomy lab, for example, ag business, ag economics, animal science, and other specialized training programs that businesses may bring them to say, we need help in getting people to work in this area and what we do. So it's one more opportunity for us to educate and train our kids and others to find careers in agriculture. And the thing about, if you attend Colby Community College, you have the likelihood of, at least it increases the chances that you'll find a job here and stay here. And we don't need to send people away for them to be successful.
Excellent. Okay, and it sounds like a very evolutionary approach. This program is kind of evolving as it comes.
I hope and I believe that the community college will move in the areas in agriculture and other aspects of education where they find the need, where students are looking for careers and where businesses are looking for students.
Okay. And that is happening at 10 o'clock this morning, correct?
That is true.
For anybody who wants to go out, and I believe it is now. It's a public announcement now.
I'm quite certain that everyone is welcome, and I certainly would welcome the chance to shake anyone's hand.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, go out and see Senator Moran. It's going to happen at 10 o'clock at the Colby Community College. And so moving onward, let's talk inflation and fuel prices and what that means for the agricultural economy, especially if you can keep that as locally as possible for the people who are listening, that would be great.
Absolutely. And first of all, what I would say is I wish what we were talking about is rainfall.
Yes.
It is so dry. We are facing such challenges. Many places in Kansas are some of the driest they have ever been, and certainly the driest in people's lifetimes. And so we recognize the need for moisture. I'm told the Farmer's Almanac indicates significant snowfall this winter, and while I suppose we kind of shudder at the thought of winter, that moisture that will come from the Farmer's Almanac is accurate. That snowfall that will come is a great opportunity for us to replenish the surface and the groundwater here. We've been working with farmers and ranchers in northwest Kansas and trying to conserve water and make sure our agricultural programs assist in doing that. So, first of all, in agriculture, the most important thing we could have is rainfall, and I hope it comes soon.
Yes.
I would say that the input cost is the other thing. The cost of the things that a farmer has to buy in order to produce a crop, to harvest a crop. And so one of those, and this affects everyone, the cost of fuel, fertilizer, natural gas. I've been pleading with the president, with the Biden administration, to open up the opportunities for more oil and gas to be produced in the United States, for the U.S. to become more energy independent. And rather than us producing our energies, the president is traveling the world asking for Saudi Arabia or Venezuela or Libya to increase their production. When this administration, I'm not trying to be terribly partisan here, but this administration has had a desire to reduce the use of oil and gas in our country, and their policies are designed to discourage its exploration and production. And that's a terrible mistake at a time in which we need more opportunities to reduce the price by increasing the supply. But most recently, the thing that I'm most troubled by is the reduction of the amount of oil we are maintaining in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. So the United States we have a supply for emergencies. And while this is a difficult time, those emergencies could be around the corner with how dangerous our world is. China, Russia, we need not drain. In fact, the president announced 2 withdrawals just within the last couple of weeks. And it's about 1/2 of a day's consumption of oil in the United States. But we're down to about where our supplies in that reserve are about 1/3 of what they normally are. It's too dangerous a world for that risk. So rather than increase the risk, encourage oil and gas producers, small independent oil and gas producers in Kansas, to produce more oil by reducing the things, the barriers that get in their way. And I would add, just having driven from Hayes to Colby this morning, we see lots of evidence that Kansas is an energy state. It's not oil and gas, totally. It's wind, it's solar. It is renewable I know about the solar facilities that are out here. And then in Colby, and you add to that the wind farms on my way, the ethanol plant at campus, there is plenty of evidence that Kansans in particular are willing and able to produce more energy. We just need to get the barriers created by government out of our way and off our back.
Well, I read the letter that you had sent to President Biden, imploring him to, not put us at risk in the way that this release of the oil has. So, thank you for that. So, in addition to what you've listed, especially for Kansas and our contribution to what would be a sensible, comprehensive plan for energy production, like as a whole, as a nation, what would that look like?
Well, it would look like a recognition that while even if your goal is to reduce or eliminate fossil fuels, you can't do it overnight. It is a long-term project that some people believe is necessary for us to improve our environment, alter the climate. And so, but the point that I try to make is we can do more other sources of energy, but don't shut down the things that are our basic supplies of energy, oil and natural gas. There's lots of Kansans who earn a living in that regard, but it also, even this administration was trying to, the people they appointed to the financial regulatory office, the Federal Reserve, for example, they had the goal of making certain that banks would not make loans to companies that produced oil and natural gas. So it's been an attitude and approach trying to do everything they do to squeeze the supply down. And I don't understand why you then would go, if your goal is to rid us of fossil fuels, why is it okay to first utilize fossil fuels from Venezuela, from Saudi Arabia? And the president has early on asked Russia to increase its production of oil to help our prices. So it can't be that. It's just that they don't want to produce oil in the United States. And this, I'm quite certain, is where we produce and refine oil and natural gas in the most environmentally sound way, most conscious way of trying to protect our environment. I'm quite certain we're better at it than Venezuela, yet this administration never looks to domestic supplies to meet our country's needs.
Very well put, and thank you very much. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm talking to Senator Jerry Moran, and he is presently en route to Colby, and Senator Moran is going to be at the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Ag building at Colby Community College. Senator, I can't thank you enough for taking time to really talk about some really important details of like what's happening, especially with energy production and actually, fighting for Kansans. So thank you for that.
Erin, thank you. I am now sitting in the parking lot at Colby Community College. By allowing me to do this on time, I arrived here on time.
Hey, we aim to please.
I'm going to come by and shake your hand when we're done.
Well, yeah, you have to, because I made you lavender sugar cookies, and you need your snack bag.
Is this something you're well known for?
Well, now I am.
Now you are. Oh, good. Yeah. All right.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Show to tell people how good the cookies were.
Well, yeah, even if you have to lie, I appreciate it.
Oh, no.
No.
All right.
Well, thank you so much.